Okay, so I'm going to show a video of how to replace the ribbon cable for, I have one of these ACC Smartouch Digital. This one is the 1000. It's interchangeable for the 1005, which we had before. I am making this video because my hot tub guy said this was impossible, and I've done it previously. So the reason why this one is brand new, the reason why I'm changing the ribbon cable on this one is because the one it came with was too short for what we needed. So I am replacing it with this longer, it's the same thing, longer ribbon cable, so that we can get it to where we need to go. So I just kind of figured this out on my own. Now you don't have to, you can watch me do it. So first I'm just going to take off these 4 screws in the back. And I don't recommend using power tools for this because all these parts are kind of delicate. Okay, so now we're going to take the back off. And then the next step is, I guess we have to take that off, but we can do it later. So now there's just 2 screws inside we have to take off the board. Now, the other thing you can do is you can also do this. So the first time I did this repair, it was because our ribbon cable had gotten damaged. We're kind of out in nature, so we get a lot of little critters and things that tend to mess up our cable. So what you can do, if you have, it's actually nice when you have the extra long cable, because the way that you can solve this is that you just cut below wherever the damage is on the cable and then reattach it. So that's what I did last time. Then we needed to do it again. I made the mistake of asking my handyman to try it, and he messed up all the pins on the controller. So now we have a new controller. I was hoping not to have to do this, but then the cable it came with was too small, so I am doing it again. Okay, so now you kind of want to be careful because we have all the components here. So you see, this is where the cable attaches on this end. So you're going to want to carefully disconnect this piece here. So disconnect that piece so that you can work with it. We're going to put that aside. This fell off. This is just the cover for the display. That aside. Okay, so now see, here's our thing, right? Our ribbon cable, you know, very official. Okay, so now getting it off is a little bit of the tough part. I do believe last time I broke it when I did this, which it still worked. I just taped it back on with some electrical tape, but let's see if I can do it without breaking it this time. I'm going to take off this part here so I can move my cable around a little bit better. Okay. I guess you'll learn with me. Let's see if we can take this off without destroying it. I don't know if we can. Last time I just destroyed it and then just taped it back on with electrical tape, so we'll see. Yeah, I think I broke it. Okay, well, yeah, looks like I broke it, but that's okay because I did last time and I still was able to fix it. So maybe that's not the best advice, but it gets the thing working, so ends justify the means, I guess. I'll put this little piece aside. Okay, there we go. So see, now I'm going to pry it up here. Can I do it without breaking? I don't know how that goes on. To me, it feels like when there's an opening like that, it should be a release, but I don't think it is in this case. Unless maybe I need something longer, but I don't think I do. I just have my multi-tool with me right now. Let's try this guy. Yeah, I don't know if I can get that off without breaking it, but yeah, I think I just break this every time. Okay, well, now you can see how it's attached. There we go. Okay, so see, you want to look at how they are on there, how the pins are. And you see how the pins go. See where the ridges are and where the pins are. And you can see how they just go just directly in each of those little bumps. So the one with the red goes on the side closer to the lights. So you got to put that strip there. So now we're going to swap it out. Sorry, I'm just putting my phone on top of a box here. I do not have a tripod. Not a very professional YouTuber here. Okay, so now we're going to take out the old one carefully. So you can just pull that up. And this is where my handyman got messed up. When he was putting on the new one, he completely messed up the pins. So you do need to have those pins in good condition. So see, just be careful here. So it's not rocket science, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna rethread the old cable back the same way. Okay, so I'm gonna thread it through with my red part on the right. And see, this is where you can see why it didn't work when he did it. That's how it's supposed to look when you pull it off. So what I'm going to do is I just take some normal ass scissors here. I'm just going to cut, and you want to really try to make sure to cut as straight as possible because it will make it easier on your setup. I don't know if I did it, but here's hoping. So I'm going to try to get a little straighter here. I don't know how you get the long cable with it. That's, I guess, for someone else to know. I don't know if you can tell, I'm not actually a hot tub repair person, so it's probably pretty shocking. Okay, so the red part of the ribbon goes on the right side. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna line it up very carefully, and you need to I use like my multi-tool. You kind of need like 2 metal tools. And you're going to push on either side of the metal pins in order to get the ribbon into the pins. So, oops, leaves in the way. Okay, so the red stripe goes on the right side here, next to my display. And what I'm going to do is line it up, and it might take you, last time I did this, it took me a couple tries. So if it does, you just cut the ribbon down farther and start again. So you'll test it once you do it. You'll see if all the controls are working. If they're not, it means you did it wrong. Okay, so I'm lining up my right pin so that the middle of the so you need it so that the middle of that right red stripe one, the other one looked a little bit different, but And then, see, now that we're all the way in, I'm gonna kind of go through and make sure they're all secure in there. Okay, so now the test is going to be if it works properly when I hook it up. Making sure they're all down there nice and snug. Because once I check it, I'm going to hopefully not be opening this up again. At least not this week. Okay. Okay, so now let's take a look. And I can't right now because I'm taping, but you can compare it to the previous one. Let's see if I can get my phone to focus this time. Okay, so here we go. See, we've got that red one on the right. It's right in the middle. I think all of mine look pretty good. So you want to look at each of the pins and see if they're in the middle of the ribbon of the little thing. So that is looking, I think, pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go test it and make sure it's working before I close it all up. I made that mistake. The first time I did it, it was almost right, but not quite. And then I had to open everything up again. Got with my little box stand here. Okay, so I'm going to just bring it over and test it. Just bring this thing over. I will go get I'm going to tape it and use electrical tape and tape it up before I close it up. But I mean, I don't think, like, you know, there's nothing metal in the top here, so all the connections are here. So that top piece is just kind of to keep it in place, I think. I don't think there's any actual, like, even if it's not super tight, I don't think it's going to matter, but it goes back in there pretty easily. So I'm just going to go over and test this with my hot tub and see if it's working. And then if it is working, then I will close it up. I will be right back. Okay, so I did go ahead and test it and it was working. So we are ready to go ahead and close up. So you can see this thing like really kind of stays on here anyway. I'm going to give it a little bit of tape just in case. Last time I used electrical tape, which is probably the right thing to do. As you can probably tell, I don't always do the thing I'm supposed to, so I'm using the tape I had, which is kind of like this yellow duct tape. So you don't even really need very much because it's pretty small, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little bit of this tape to make sure that it stays down. Even though once it's in there, it's pretty snug inside the back there, so I don't think it really could come out unless you opened it up, but I'm sure if I didn't do this, then it'll come out. So I'll go ahead and do it just in case. And I don't know if this tape causes electrical shorts. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments if anyone even watches this video. Okay, so I think we're okay here. Okay, so I've taped my back on. Now what we need to do is we have to put it back on. I had to do this to test it, but I took it off so that I could put the tape on. So now we have to slide it back into here. And I did this very easily when I was over next to the hot tub. And now I've got sweat in my eyes, so let's see if I can manage to do it. Let me trim my tube a bit. think that little corner of tape is what's messing with it. Okay, so now you can see. Sorry, that part didn't take so long last time. Okay, so see, it's like nice up and snug in there. And then see, my little screen fell out again, but you can just stick that back in. That's pretty simple. Just put it in the little box. Okay, so now we are going to close it up. Now we should be in the easy part. So I think the way they did it was, I think when I saw it, I think they kind of folded it over like that and did something like that. I don't think it matters too much. You just don't want to get it too crunched. Maybe it was underneath. Let's see. That could be it. No, that's not it. Okay, well, I'm just going to kind of do it like that. I don't know how much it matters as long as it's kind of, I don't know, I just don't want to crunch it too much. Okay, well, this part is definitely not going to be right, but it's just going to be how I'm doing it, I guess. Okay, so I would probably do this part first and then put the little, the other little piece. So we've got the long screws going here. Okay, so we have the 4 in the back, and then we have 2 more for the little cover here. So we need our 2. We have 2 more of the little baby screws. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly. I guess it kind of goes that way, so I'm gonna. Oh, geez, I hope I didn't bend that too much. We'll find out. Oh, fuck. Sorry, my video is not very professional. Okay, let's see if I can that screw I just dropped. Maybe it goes that way. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put it that way. That was still kind of looking squished, but I think it looks less squished. Okay, I think that's slightly less squished. Okay. Now, if you will follow me, I'm going to reinstall this, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself. Okay. All you need is, I'm just going to need my Phillips head to screw back the panel. Okay, now again, I'm going to make another disclaimer, which is I'm also going to be doing this in the incorrect way, which is I'm just plugging it in while it's on. This is probably very much not the right way to do it, because you are supposed to turn it off at the breaker. I'm sure you can fry the board or something, but not that this is a good reason, but I've done this a ton of times and I've never turned it off. There it goes. Now we're going to go back, check out the view, hope I don't fall and die. Okay. Okay, so here's our equipment, which I already have opened up. So, I'm gonna grab our cable here. The panel here now. So this is the panel which, so you should be turning this off at the breaker. I am not, but that doesn't mean that's what you should do. Okay, it kind of goes through here so that you can close there's like a little cutout here so you can close it, and then you see this is where it goes in. So when you're taking it out, there's these 2 clips if you're taking off the control board. So when it's on, it's in, and then you just pull these two out to pull it out. So I'm just gonna put it in really fast. Take my life in my hands here. You just kind of push it in and it'll go in like that. Okay, so now we go over here. You can see, maybe you can't because the sun should be working so you can see jets. I'm not going to do all the controls because I can't really reach it very well. You can hear the heaters kicking on because now we have the control on it. So now all that's left to do is to close up our panel here. So I don't know if I have a place I can leave that. You can tell here I don't have a tripod. I'm just kind of holding it. Okay, so close this back up. Look at the view. Reward for staying through this whole video.